here once again, people, and welcome to yet another episode of Seeking Shamblers. This time around, we're checking out a really basic Eloinz level. Eloinz was an editor made around 1996. I believe we've covered videos of it in the past. We've done various test levels, basically. There were 3 test levels for Eloinz: Grunt House, Keys, and... oh god, what was the third one? The first one, Deathmatch Arena? Or was it like some weird misspelling or something like that? In any event, there were those 3. There were those 3 levels, and that was all that Eloinz had. Eloinz 0.4 has changed some stuff around. Yeah, basically it changed around the map files. It made it like a new format for whatever reason. And on top of that, it changed the name of the files from like EXMP to just EATS. But they're basically exactly the same otherwise. Anyway, other than that, this is Eloinz 0.4. It is a big enough version, whatnot, that a whole new version was kind of released. It was released around like early November of 1996, I would say like November 10th. And other than that, that seems to be about it. I was looking quickly through the documentation, files, all that, but I'm not really seeing anything. I just looked at like a change log, and they don't even mention this past versions of this program. So that's really interesting. It's like they're trying to make you forget those existed, but we've seen them. I know they existed. And this version had a really horrible version of Grunt House, so yeah. Actually, Deathmatch Arena was also horrible because I couldn't even compile it. It's like it doesn't even recognize the textures in it for some reason. It's like basically you just get the origins, but you don't get any textures. So it's rather weird in the way that works. I'm not sure if it's a case of using the wrong WAD, but I can't imagine why it would be the wrong WAD. This WAD has worked perfectly fine for everything else, and is, I believe, the WAD used for Worldcraft. And it's also what worked perfectly fine with every other level. So I'm not really sure what exactly the issue with that one was. And it also worked perfectly fine with the previous version of Deathmatch Arena. I've actually tested out. I loaded up Eloinz 0.21, I believe it was. And Deathmatch Arena worked perfectly fine. So it's just this particular version had a weird issue with Deathmatch Arena. And also, like I said, Grunt House was really, really terrible. This version had really terrible test levels. I feel like the test levels have gone down in quality. Anyway, we're not really here to talk about test levels that we've already seen. We're here to talk about a new test level, because for some reason, they decided to add a 4th test level to Eloinz. So, at least starting with this version, I don't know if it will still exist in future versions, but it does exist here. We have a level simply known as No Name Level, which is a really interesting name to have, but at least it stands out still. There's been no other level named specifically No Name Level, so yeah, that is a thing at least. I guess we should load it up and see what in God's name we're in for. And I have to remember the right name. Oh, look, I'm loading Eloinz. Yeah, this is what Eloinz looks like, everybody. At least you get to see what the editor that we're working with is. And this is really, really horrible, because if you notice, the text for the WAD is running off the side. Yeah, it's really, really annoying and clunky. Basically, to get around, it's like you have to like open, like if I press F3 to open, it's like it's very slow and very clunky. It's not very responsive. Anyway, we're past all that. I got it all out of the program. Let's see if I can like Alt F4 this without causing issues with my recorder. No, it doesn't want Alt F4 now. Blight thing. Because there's no quit button, if you notice. Yeah, there's no quit button, so I have to like force quit this whole thing. Yeah, that's how horrible this one is. One more reason to dislike Eloinz. Who in God's name doesn't have a quit button in your program? Maybe it's like a hidden button in some options or something, but yeah, I don't see anything that looks like it would be a quit button. Anyway, let's actually swap it over to normal Quake. I completely forgot to do that because, yeah, this always happens, doesn't it? Yes, it does. It's kind of the annoying thing about dealing with DOS bots is that you always set up one program, you think, okay, it's all done, but you forgot to switch it back to the regular program. Your regular scheduled event, if you will. So let's see here. EX3, I think it is. I think it's just EX3, like X3. And there we are, no name level. We got skulls or bones. They look a lot like phallic stuff. Yeah. This isn't a pornographic level, it's just filled with phallic-looking objects. Well, this is uneventful. No name level. We got some bones. And we got some floors and walls. And a door. Oh, look, a door. With a room behind the door. Of course, you could just walk around the door. This is like an archway that has no purpose whatsoever, because you could actually just walk past the door. You could walk over here, walk behind it, and it wouldn't even matter. So we have a door that doesn't even have really a purpose. Why in God's name do we have this? You know, I guess this is the whole feature of it, just to look at a door. You want to see a door? Well, here's a door. It's kind of like DOORH, except the doors are horribly underlined. And yeah. It's DOORH, except the door doesn't even have a purpose in this level. So is that brilliant? A worse version of DOORH. Just what the world asked for, right? Yeah. Let's go back here. And, no, there's no level exit. It doesn't lead anywhere. This is the entire level. A door. It's just like DOORH, as said, except now more terrible. Who would have guessed this one? Amazing. Nearly 100 levels later, and we're fighting the sequel to DOORH. More terrible DOORH, also known as No Name Level, because why have a name for something this god-awful terrible and pointless? Honestly, why even have this as like a 4 example level? Where are we getting here that we didn't see in the other 3? I mean, Keys had doors. It actually had locked doors that you had to unlock using a key. So, between that and Grunt House, which had doors that also required keys to open, and regular doors as well, I'm not really sure what we got here, besides a pointless door that nobody really would care about. But yay! Example level. You want to see a level that doesn't really do anything? It's just a really basic example? Well, here you are! We haven't seen a test level in a little bit of time, so here you are. Something basic. Something totally pointless. Yeah, like I said, we haven't seen many test levels, so I guess this fills that status quo of pointless test levels, doesn't it? Anyway, that is really that, I guess. Thank you all for watching. I really don't know what I'm doing in my life sometimes. Why in God's name do I play stuff like this? And I guess I'll be seeing you all, well, next time!